I will declare the meeting open. It's our council meeting for the Monday, 26th of August, 2024. And thank you for attending. I will acknowledge Devonport Council, City Council acknowledges and pays respects to the Palawa Pakina people as the traditional and original owners of Lutruwita and continuing custodians of the land on which we gather. We also acknowledge and pay our respects to the Tasmanian Aboriginal elders past and present. In attendance tonight, thank you, councillors, for attending. We do have one apology tonight. Deputy Mayor Councillor Stacey Shane. Going on to that, item 2, is there any declarations of interest in the open session?
Yes, Mayor, you do.
Right. Councillor Murphy.
In item 4.2, I am engaged in the real estate industry, and the company that I was employed by is involved in the transaction of this particular land parcel. As such, I will be leaving.
Thank you. And any others for yourself? That was the only one. Thank you. Councillor Wilczynski.
Yes, Mayor. 5.8, it's the Chamber of Commerce. I'm a private member, not on the executive committee or management, and I'll be staying in the room.
Thank you. Any other declarations? Councillor Ennis.
5.9, and I will be leaving the room.
Thank you. No problem at all. Thank you very much for everybody for that. So moving on, we go to item 3. The procedural section 3.1 is confirmation of minutes. The recommendation is there. If I could have a mover, please.
So moved.
Councillor Murphy, and a seconder, please.
Seconded.
Councillor Hollister, thank you. Councillor Murphy.
Community procedure, man.
Thank you. Councillor Hollister.
Nothing to add.
Thank you. Any further comments or questions from the councillors? Councillor Murphy, close, please.
Consider it closed.
All those in favour?
Aye.
Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. So 3.2, public question time, and 3.2.1 is the responses to questions raised. There are nil. 3.2.2 is questions on notice from the public. The recommendation is there. If I could have a move, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy, and a seconder.
Second.
Councillor Ennis, thank you. Councillor Murphy.
Yes, Mayor, the responses are there for all to see.
Thank you. Councillor Murphy, Ennis.
Nothing further.
Thank you. Any further questions, comments? Councillor Murphy, therefore to close.
Consider it closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. So we have 3.2.3 is questions without notice from the public. I do see we have some lovely people in our gallery tonight. Thank you for attending. If there's any questions, Mr. Warren.
Thank you, Mayor. 2 questions tonight on the same old chestnut. At the June 2023 meeting, it was indicated that a principal design consultant had been appointed since August 2022, and they had commenced functional and schematic design along with site feasibility assessments of potential development locations. Can it be assumed then that the functional and schematic designs assisted the site selection process at the May 2023 workshop? In response to my questions on notice 27th of May 2024, you indicated that the scope benchmarked other like facilities in your assessment. Can you confirm, please, if the functional and schematic designs along with site feasibility assessments and benchmarking of other like facilities contain the same details? And if so, can a copy be provided, please, for both the Oval and East Devonport sites?
If you're happy with that, we can
Yep.
take that on notice. Thank you very much.
Question 2. Mayor, thank you for eventually reading the assessment criteria and evaluations of the Oval and East Devonport site that I asked for back in May. That being said, this confirms that you agree the Oval site at the time of the workshop was 90% compliant with the necessary parking in the absence of any tangible plans. Would that be a reasonable assumption?
For the Oval at East Devonport, you're saying?
The
Sorry.
Oval at Devonport.
I was just trying to understand what you're asking. Sorry.
Yes, I'll repeat the question.
Benchmarking that you asked me to read.
Yes.
I went back and was quite happy with the scores.
Yes, so is the reasonable assumption then that you agree that the Oval site at the time of that workshop was 90% compliant with the necessary parking in the absence of any tangible plans?
Look, I haven't memorised it, I must admit. I have certainly gone and done my homework. I can go back and have a look. The 90% you're asking me
Well, the ranking was
specifically.
9 out of 10,
All right.
90%.
Yeah.
So it's quite clear in black and white.
Well, I was happy with the scores overall, but if you want me to go look at that particular part,
Well, you've already answered the question, so it's
yeah, I was happy with the scores.
good. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Oh, sorry, Mr. We've got someone's put their hand up before you. Oh, hello.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. I have a question. Actually, I have a couple of questions.
We need
if I
your
may.
name and address.
Oh, sorry.
Not a problem.
Vicky Ward, 3 Woodland Grove, Tuggerah, 7310.
Thank you, Vicky.
My apologies.
No problem.
I forget every time because I don't speak very often.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask a couple of questions, if I may, about the netball courts that are proposed for North Motton Road in Devonport. Is it okay if I ask a couple of
So
questions?
Fenton?
North Fenton, sorry. Yeah.
You're right.
My question is, I'm curious how many people on the council who are going to vote whether this goes ahead or not live next to a netball court. Is there anybody in the council that lives next to netball courts?
I don't think anyone does. I can speak on myself at the moment, but
Well, I just wanted to give a little bit of information and then I'm going to play something, but it's only a 30-second play, okay? So it's not going to annoy you for very long. In an average netball game, which is an hour long, 4 quarters of 15 minutes each, what I discovered was that for every netball game, the whistle goes between 60 and 80 times, or 40 and 80 times per game.
probably similar to a football match.
No, much more than a football match. And if there are 5 netball courts that are going to be put onto North Fenton, that will mean that there are 300 whistle blows on average every hour. And I took the middle score. So I didn't say 40, I didn't say 80, I took 60. So on average, the whistle will go 60 times per game, every game, and over the space of 5 courts, that means the whistle will blow 300 times each time there's a game on. So for every hour, the whistle blows 300 times. Okay. So what I did was I worked that out and I thought, well, how many times is that? And so what I worked out is that's approximately 5 times per minute. So I went out to a friend's place because my house is double glazed, so it's not going to sound the same. Went inside her house, walked across from her house far enough so that it'd be like across the road in North Fenton. It'd be across the road from North Fenton. And I blew the whistle 5 times in a minute. And she recorded that for me as to what it sounded like inside of her house. Are you happy if I play you what it sounds like?
Oh, I don't think we need that. That's fine.
I think reality is some people don't realise the impact it's going to have on people's lives. And even though, you know, like you and I both know that it's something that's reasonably important. The lives of locals is equally important no matter whether you're a netball player or no matter whether you live on property opposite a netball court. So my view is that hearing what it sounds like might actually give you an idea of what it would be like if it was your house in North Fenton.
So your question?
So my question is, what are we going to do to assist those people in those areas, North Fenton and part of James Street as well? What are we going to do to actually assist them so that they don't hear a whistle blowing 5 times every 10 seconds?
Do you have your question and your statement written down at all for us?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
but I can go back to it if you like.
All right.
So, for example, my view is, what are we going to do to assist those people? Because reality is, a whistle blowing 5 times every 10 seconds is going to be, every minute, is going to be really quite annoying.
Thank you.
And I think we need to think about what we're going to do to fix that problem.
Thank you.
Because reality is, it's annoying.
Okay.
This is going to be coming into their house every 10 seconds on average, sometimes more.
Thank you, Vic.
And I know that's annoying and I apologise for that, but sometimes we don't have a tendency to put ourselves in their place. I've never lived near a netball court, and that would, in theory, drive me crazy. Particularly if you're a worker. If you're a worker on a Saturday, if you're a worker every day of the week and you're home on weekends, you don't want half of your Saturday, at least, being annoyed by a whistle blowing every 10 seconds. So please, when you vote whether you're going to do this, have a good think about whether it's going to impact on people who've been locals here for a very long time, and whether it's actually going to, if that's the case, then what's the council going to do to actually help them eliminate that noise in their house? Are they going to pay for them to have their house double glazed?
Thank you, Vicky. We'll give you a notice back, right?
Thank you. Just make you think, that's all.
Questions, Mr. Belper?
Thank you. Just hearing aids. Bob Vellacotta, 11 Cocker Place, Devonport. Now, I refer to the unacceptable condition of the building just across the way here on the northwest corner of Best and Rook Streets. And it's been subject of my, it was the subject of my questions on notice on page 13 on the agenda tonight. It appears council, because of the amount of red tape, is unable to have this building brought up to comply with health and building regulations. That's because that's the reason I understand, or what I'm being more or less told, that that's why it's still in that condition after many years. Therefore, I ask, will you, on behalf of the ratepayers, make representations to the Minister for Local Government to arrange a site visit to view this firsthand, to get a better understanding of what councils are up to? In other words, we'd like him to, I suggest that he amends the Local Government Act to not only help Devonport, but I believe every other council in the state who are confronted with these derelict and dilapidated properties. So my question is, Mayor, will you do so?
Thank you. We'll give you notice of writing, if that's all right. Have you written to the Minister yourself at all?
Have I?
Have you written to the Minister of Local?
No, I don't see it as my place. We have elected representatives, and you, your good self, and a highly paid general manager to do that I would have thought would have had the initiative without me prompting them to do that sort of thing. But apparently not. But if you would like assistance, I'm sure I could assist in arranging with the Minister to have a meeting with you so that these sorts of things can be sorted out. Obviously, you feel that it appears that you must have an inferior complex or inferior to arrange those sort of things yourself.
I was only asking you a question if you...
Thank you.
Thank you.
My other question, Mayor, is some years ago, I recall Mr. Jenny and others brought to your attention, or the council's attention, the condition of Best Street. The amount of access covers that are well below the standard, acceptable standard. But I wonder how many of your councils actually drive up and down that road and virtually have their stomach jolted out every time you go past or go along that road. My question is, when will we see some work done on that to bring that road up to an acceptable standard, which is more or less a gateway into the central business district?
Thank you.
Can I have an indication, please?
We will send you back notice in writing. Is that all right?
I would have. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Any other questions from the gallery? No, thank you for that. We'll move on to 3.3, questions on notice from councillors. There are none. 3.4, notice of motions. There are none. Moving on to item 5, which is planning, matters. I will now announce. Sorry. 4. Did I say 5? I apologise. Thank you for correcting me. I'll now announce that council intends to act as a planning authority under the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993 for the consideration of agenda items 4.1 and 4.2. Item 4.1, being TNSAR reports broken. All the information is there for the councillors. There is a recommendation. If I can have a mover, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. And a seconder? Councillor Viney, thank you. Councillor Murphy.
Thank you, Mayor. This one here has a recommendation for this to be approved. There was one representation with respect to concerns around some drainage issues, specifically stormwater drainage. However, condition 5 of this this recommendation states quite clearly that prior to approval, the requirement on the developer for obtaining an appropriate plumbing and building permit will require them to seek professional advice with respect to the 100-year flood or rain of storm event. So whilst the recommendation is there to approve it, there is some level of security for the developer of a prime residential subdivision that there won't be any issues down the track for stormwater in a future development. Having said that, it is very much a need-based storage facility. They seem to be popping up all over the place within the community, and they seem to be being used. So obviously the demand's there, and it's good to see such type developments.
Thank you. Councillor Viney.
Thank you, Mayor. I agree with everything that Councillor Murphy said. Actually, the storage facility in the light industrial space, I think, makes sense. And the issue that was raised by the representation about that 1 in 100-year storm event is being covered off in the requirements there for a swale drain to safeguard against any of those adverse effects and future development within that drainage catchment area. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there further comments or questions from the councillors? Councillor Ennis, you have the light on.
Oh,
That's all right. Any further comments, questions? Sorry, Councillor Munn, did you put your light on? Sorry.
Yes,
I can't see it from here. Being naughty. Thank you, Councillor Munn.
thank you, Mayor. I'll be supporting this development. It's been conditioned in regards to lighting. That'd be faced interior, not external, and the lighting will be baffled, so it won't impact the developments, future development of residential lands to the north. The landscaping, but here that if not inside, then perhaps the nature strip, which was similar to what's happening along Marconi Court with RSS Storage, which has a rock landscape along the nature strip, so that fits in with what's going on. And with the stormwater, it's conditioned to twin 1.50 diameter pipes, which is address the representation in regards to stormwater. So I think we've covered off all that needs to be covered off in regards to the development. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comment? Councillor Hollister?
The stormwater here, I believe that goes through just north of the crematorium creek that flows down through that area. And I believe that was upgraded a few years ago. So if that's the case, there shouldn't be a problem with flooding, if I'm right.
Is that a question or statement? Thank you. No problem. Any further questions? If not, I will ask Councillor Murphy to close the debate.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, having spoken to the representative, the real risks, as it's been identified in this report, is that they appeal the decision. Obviously, there's a financial exposure there to council. However, I think if we're able to communicate that effectively enough, that it will be upon the developer to meet the necessary standard with respect to not reducing the current flow of the current swale drain that's there. For the purpose of stormwater, there shouldn't be an issue. Having said that, consider it closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. So 4.2, thank you, Councillor Murphy. We're moving on to So 4.2 is 193 Melrose Road, Aberdeen. Again, all the information is there and a recommendation. If I could have a mover of 4.2, please.
So moved.
Councillor Moore, and a seconder, please.
Seconded.
Councillor Hollister. Thank you. Councillor Moore.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm happy to support the permit for the use and development of a single dwelling and a machinery shed on Melrose Road. I note that there will be some tree clearing, but they are radiator pine, which are not native to Australia. I note that there was 3 representations in the report, 2 which were actually positive of the permit, and 1 which had concerns about both their privacy and the wind protection. And I note that both of those things are not actually part of the planning scheme. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Hollister.
This is a further development in Melrose Road that has been conditioned and should be a good development.
Thank
Nothing
you.
further, vote.
Any further comments? Councillor Martin.
Thank you. I'll be supporting the application. The assessment against the current zoning of agricultural area has been explained and satisfied, mainly due to the shape of the block, the nearby reserve of Eucalyptus ovata. It's not really suitable cropping, which is part of the consideration. And note the size of the block really makes it not suitable for cropping, and it won't impact the surrounding areas. I note the representations with comments, and I think they're satisfied and addressed by the council officers. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments from the councillors? No. I would ask Councillor Moore to close, please.
Consider it closed, Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Yes, if we could allow Councillor Murphy to return, that would be wonderful. Thank you. We're moving back into item 5, reports. And the first component is 5.1, the tender report contract for cleaning of council facilities. All the information is there for us and a recommendation. If I could have a mover, please.
So moved.
Councillor Viney and Councillor Ennis, thank you for seconding. Councillor Viney.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a bit of a shame that we've had to redo this tender process again this year. I feel like council was certainly let down by the cleaning contractor that we previously awarded the contract to. I note that Lazaro has been covering for them since May, I believe. It's good that we've gone back through the tender process, and I believe it's been vetted appropriately by the Tender Planning and Evaluation Committee, and all the details of that tender process are in the agenda.
Thank you. Councillor Ennis.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure there'll be quite a number of members of the community will be very happy with this outcome because we did get quite a bit of feedback concerning the cleaning process that was taking place prior to Lazaro taking over again. So, or filling in, should I say? And so it's great that we know what we've got here, and we look forward to them doing a good job.
Thank you. Any further comments from the councillors? No. Councillor Viney to close, please.
Consider it closed. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 5.2, another tender report, State Vehicle Entry Point Project. And the recommendation is there. If I could have a motion, please.
So moved.
Councillor Viney. Murphy. Thank you. First time. And the second, please.
Seconded.
Councillor Hollister. Thank you. Councillor Murphy.
Thank you, Mayor. This one's been on the books for quite some period of time. Still, there may potentially be some issues because we still really don't know what's going to happen in that space at this particular point in time. There is some design work that's been presented, and even within that, there's still a fair bit of work to go with respect to some of that and what that eventually is going to look like. However, it's going to be necessary improvements that we need to make in and around that precinct with respect to eventually when we do have a terminal built. And look, it's only going to improve that space. So some very competitive tenders there. So it really is a reflection upon where the civil construction industry is at the moment.
Thank you. Councillor Holster.
So I'm supporting the recommendation. I believe there's a fair bit of public art to actually go with this, and I believe it's going to be exciting, the public art part of it. So I'm looking forward to see it actually in place. I believe some of it's actually got a bit of a navigation theme, so we will see. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comment, Councillor Martin, your light is on, yes?
Thank you. Yes, I'll be supporting it. $3 million state vehicle entry point was initially the scope of beautification of Tarleton Street and Murray Street, right along past the yacht club. Initially, it was going to put overhead wires on the ground, etc. was the initial grant that was given. And of course, the state entry point has now changed to further along. Means that the project itself will be moved further along to beautify that project and the entry, and about time. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comment? No? Councillor Wilczynski, sorry.
Yes, I just want to say I'm happy with this because it gives us an entry and exit when people are visiting our city. Looked at some plans and they are very good, and the artwork, I think it's just going to set these Devonport entrance up beautifully. Excellent.
Thank you. Further comments? No, so we will ask Councillor Murphy to therefore close the debate.
Thank you, Mayor. I think some references to some art is in the next stage of the project. This is specifically around some of the garden and road infrastructure changes that need to be made in that particular space. So yes, I'll be looking forward to stage 2 of this when it comes along. As I stated earlier, it's good to see that we're able to get, as has been quoted here, best overall value with the awarding to Walters Contracting. So with that, consider it closed, Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 5.3 is the waste transfer station change of weekend operating hours. All the information is there. If I can move it, please.
So moved.
Wow. Okay. Councillor Moore, I think, sorry, and Councillor Murphy. It was very close. Thank you. Councillor Moore.
I'd like to support this motion to change the times for the weekend and public holidays of our waste transfer station. I was happy that there was over 550 respondents to this, so people actually do really care about when the waste transfer station is open. I note that about a third of the people were actually not in favour of that change, but so I'm hoping the other 2/3 of people actually do support the change, where we will start opening at 9 a.m. rather than 11. It will be nice on a Saturday when you just want to get those jobs done at home, not to have to wait till 11 o'clock for the waste transfer station to open, and for there not to be quite so much of a crowd at the gate. I also note that this won't cost council any more. There'll be no extra cost to council because of the change in times. And there is a change coming that the waste transfer station will have a recoverable area, which might actually mean there'll be longer waiting times as things are unloaded. So I believe that this will help mitigate some of those waiting times.
Thank you. Councillor Murphy.
I concur with Councillor Moore. I think this is a bit of a no-brainer. Yes, there's a small financial gain to council, $3,000 odd. However, I think having the opportunity to get to the tip early and get it done and dusted, and people will adapt. I have no doubt that there will be people out there, or that 1/3 that weren't happy with it, we want to go to the tip at 2:30, that's okay. It's okay. Trailer can be loaded and be left there overnight. Yeah, 9 o'clock Sunday morning, something to look forward to. We expect to go to the tip at 9 o'clock, and by 10 o'clock, it's all done and dusted. So, yeah, look, I think it's something I'll look forward to myself personally. Like to get up early and get these things done and enjoy the rest of the afternoon for other more social activities.
Thank you. Any further comments, Councillor Vine? His pin up.
Thank you, Council. Thank you, Mayor. Agree with both the previous speakers. I'm another advocate to get things done earlier. You win the morning, you win the day. Even though it is opening and shutting a bit early, the actual hour, the amount of time that it's open is exactly the same. So I think, as Councillor Murphy said, it's a bit of an adjustment. And from the surveys that were attached with the report, you can see there's a real drop off in usage later on in the afternoon. So I think people will adjust, and I have been there, seen it firsthand. You get there a bit early and there's people with trailers lined up. It's not great. And yeah, I'll be keen to support it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Martin?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be supporting it. I'm not quite sure it will stop the ramping of cars and trailers.
Yeah.
When I had a news agency, I opened at 6 o'clock. They were there at 5:30 waiting for me to open. I opened at 5:30. They were there at 5 o'clock waiting for me to be open. So hopefully it won't be as severe. So that'll be interesting. And the earlier hours will allow opportunities for people who are doing their chores and getting their rubbish out to the waste transfer station. It allows them to enjoy the other activities that the city has on around the place. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Ennis?
Thank you. Yeah, I was very impressed that we had so many respondents to the survey. It's great to see council taking notice of consultation and going with what the majority of the people had wished for, which is earlier opening hours. Yeah, I agree. There will be people lined up before 9 o'clock. It's the nature of how we operate. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Winchinsky, Charlotte? Yes.
Just to follow on from that, the timing is great, and as Councillor Barney said, it's the same amount of time that the waste transfer station is open. But I'm looking forward to the recovery centre, which will start in February, because less goes to landfill, and the recovery centre, I think, will be good for everyone to benefit from as well. So I'm looking forward to the February part. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments, questions? No, I think it's great to know that obviously the great staff out there have noticed this lining up of people before the 11 o'clock time and said something else must be done about it. So that's what we did. We went out to the public and said, well, what do you want to do? Here's some ideas. So it's great. Yeah, and I know, Councillor Martin, it's going to be like a garage sale. You always tell people to turn up at whatever time. And what do? You get a line up of people beforehand. So it'll happen. But at the end of the day, this should be a good move. So I appreciate that. If I can ask Councillor Moore to close.
Consider it closed, Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to 5.4 is the dog management policy. A lot of work has been done in this. The recommendation is there if I can have a move, please.
So moved.
Councillor Hollister, thank you. And a seconder? Second. Councillor Barney, thank you. Councillor Hollister.
This is a recommendation that we put the dog management policy for a 14-day public consultation period. So it'll be interesting to see what comes back. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Barney.
Thank you, Ed. I think it's a requirement for us to undergo a revision of this policy. It was in 2019. I read it was last review. So, as Councillor Hollis just mentioned, it's going to go to public consultation as well, and that'll give everybody an opportunity to have their say.
Thank you. Further comment, Councillor Martin?
Thank you. Just wondering if those changes have been implemented and gone back out to councillors.
Through there, not circulated to councillors, but they have, Councillor Martin did suggest some modifications which we're going to incorporate in the in the updated policy when we bring it back after the committee process.
Thank you. Any further comments, questions? If not, Councillor Hollister. No.
Consider closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 5.5 is the dilapidated building policy. Again, a lot of work put into this, and the recommendation is there. If I could have a move.
So moved.
Councillor Murphy, thank you. And a seconder.
Second.
Councillor Wilczynski, thank you. Councillor Murphy.
Mayor, this is more just a procedural thing than anything else with respect to the changes made to the policy with the removal of the general manager and his responsibility going to the delegated permit authority. There's only some other minor changes around some wording, but having said that, the bulk of it is just with respect to replacing the general manager with the permit authority.
Thank you. Councillor Wilczynski.
Yeah, nothing further to add.
Thank you. Any further comments? If not, I will ask Councillor Murphy to close.
Consider it closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 5.6, the parking strategy, our favourite subject. If I could have a lot of work there, recommendation is there. If I could have a vote.
So moved.
Thank you, Councillor Hine. And the second,
So second.
Councillor Wilczynski. Councillor Bliney. Your turn.
Thank you, Mayor. This has now gone out for the community consultation process. So the draft parking strategy we've looked at previously, and it's worth noting that when we were doing consultation just on the strategy, we received 346 responses. So it's certainly a hot topic for members of the community. And with the review, we've had another 32 responses. I believe we've got a good strategy in place. I think there's 25 plus actions within the strategy, and that takes us out to 2029. And I believe we'll be checking on those actions as we tick off. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Wilczynski.
Yes, I think the draft is there for everyone to see, and it's a good work in progress for our committee and workers that have put in a good job, and let's go with it. Yeah.
Thank you. Any further comments? Councillor
Councillor Ennis first.
I've chosen to talk. I didn't see.
Thank you. I was just going to quite a number of comments, which were very good. And I was just probably going to make a comment more than anything else. If we applied Councillor Ennis's logic, we'd have free parking within the city. So that's what the community wants.
Oh, good. Councillor Ennis.
Thank you. Yeah, I really like one of the responses that came through about response number 4. You know, council's bike riding strategy, aiming to provide bike lanes and encourage safe riding within the city and secure parking of bikes and scooters, etc. I think that's very wise, that person, and hopefully we can get something sorted.
Thank you. Further comments? No. I certainly will point out that this parking strategy started in 2010. I got on council in 2011. It's been something that we constantly talk about, listen to, get discussed, have discussions with our wonderful public out there. We discuss it with other councils, finding out what they do and what we do and compare and right across the board. And, you know, I see so much improvement that we've done over the time. And a lot of people just say, just get rid of the parking. Well, it's not that easy. So at the end of the day, all those things that we've done from listening to the public, which I've been part of right back in the day, from we wanted pay as you leave. We wanted pay as you leave. I know I've just heard it over and over again. We have pay as you leave now, and we have the first half hour free in our multi-storey car park. So we've listened to the community and provided. We have an app. It's a great app. I teach people all the time. I grab hold of their phones and say, this is how you make it work. Because people are a bit nervous about it, going, oh, I'm not sure about it. The more we can tell people about the app so that you can pay without coin, certainly makes it easier. And you can update it by 10 seconds if you want, because you're running late, so that you don't get a fine. If we stop everybody having fines, I would be a happy camper. And I certainly think that the improvements we've seen are ways to assist people. There are also pay and display, so many that we've got, but we do RV parking. We have an average of 720 vehicles using the outer streets. Now imagine if those 720 vehicles came in because the parking was free. Can you imagine the debacle we'd have? We wouldn't have any spaces for the people that want to shop there. We have free parking for 2 hour limits up at Coles and Woolies and all those different car parks. We have parking permits. You want to come and see council and talk about a parking permit, please do. We have subsidies for pensioners and 50+ year ratepayers. And we have discounted monthly rates available in our car parks. You want to talk to us about parking, you've got a problem, come and see us. Because I think we do a really good job. I know it's not a popular thing, it's sensitive, it's always something that's going to be contentious, but it is what it is. And I think we do a really, really good job. I will ask Councillor Bonnie to close, please.
Thank you, ma'am. I did make a mistake, so it was out to 2029, it's to 2028. I think with doing some work within this strategy with the other people involved, it is a more complex beast than just we need more car parking space. It's never the only solution. And I did like that Councillor Ernest mentioned the bike riding strategy, because it actually incorporates quite a few others: the road network strategy, the pedestrian strategy, the signage strategy, and also the tourism strategy. So there's a lot of interwoven strategy that's going into this body of work, and I thank the council officers involved for working through it. Thank you.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. 5.7 is the draft community engagement strategy. Gee, we've been doing some reading this week. So we have the recommendation there. If I could have a mover, please. Councillor Hollister, thank you.
So second.
Second to Councillor Vilchinsky, thank you. Councillor Hollister.
So I think this can only be a benefit to the city. We do a lot of things in partnership with the DCCI, and I believe we'll do more so in the future.
This is the draft community engagement strategy, though. I will just point out 5.7.
Then you might want to.
I'll jump.
Have you jumped one?
Yeah.
It's all right. Are you still happy to move it?
Get back to it.
That's all right. Sorry. It's easy to do.
Yes, so moved.
All good?
Yes.
That's fine. If you would like to speaking to that motion,
Pretty easy.
recommendation.
Pretty easy. It's going on public exhibition for the next 28 days, so we'll see what comes of it.
Thank you. Councillor Vilchinsky?
Yeah, nothing further to add other than it's now out to the public. So
Thank
it's
you.
good.
Any further comments from the councillor? No, councillor Hollister to close. Oh, sorry, councillor Ennis.
Sorry, I was
Jump.
a bit slow.
That's fine. I've got you.
I just, it'll be interesting because no matter how you try and engage, you seem to miss a lot of people. And some people don't get the paper, some people don't have the internet, some people don't do Facebook, some people don't read notices that are up. It's really challenging, and whatever you come up with, I never saw it, is what you'll often get, which is frustrating, but it's just how it is. So hopefully with this policy, we can try and reach as many as we can to engage people in what's happening in our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments? Want to lose anybody? No. Councillor Hollister to close, please.
Should be closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 5.8 is the partnership agreement for the Devonport Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The recommendation is there. If I could have a mover, please.
Try again.
Councillor Hollister? Easy. And a seconder, please.
Second.
Councillor Vilchinsky? Councillor Hollister?
Yes, as I said before, it can only be beneficial to the city. I think by doing partnerships and so forth with the chamber, it can only benefit the city. Hopefully we'll do more things in partnership, which will be as important as having a different day for show holiday. Thank you.
Councillor Vilchinsky?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I will be supporting that we actually put this in practice, because a strong commercial area for our community is a positive thing, and the chamber is very much volunteer run, but has a lot of contacts within not just retail but total commercial area. So I look forward to the agreement going ahead and more one-on-one with the chamber to facilitate a strong commercial district in Devonport, even the surrounds. So, no, it's good.
Thank you. Further comment, Councillor Murphy?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, whilst I agree with the previous two speakers, having a strong chamber presence within the community is a good thing, and acknowledge, yes, that they are volunteer-based and they do a significant amount of work with providing support to retailers within the CBD. More importantly, this is a continuation of the current partnership we have with the DCCI. It does extend it by an additional year, and it is indexed to CPI. I think the advantages with respect to the Devonport City Council and the DCCI having a positive relationship is garnering a little bit of support and the promotional opportunities that exist with some of the policies and projects that we put out, and then the investment prospectus comes to mind, and having sort of people within industry beating that drum, because there was a significant amount of body of work done by council officers, and it's a fantastic document which really does sort of provide a really solid roadmap, and that's a bit of a pun, with respect to the direction of where the council would like to see Devonport go. So yes, some may question with respect to the amount of money, but I think it's a reasonable investment for Devonport as a regional city and a regional hub, and that should be the focus of not just council but our partners outside of these four walls.
Thank you. Councillor Martin?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I think this offers the Chamber of Commerce some surety moving forward in the work they're doing and about to do and undertake, whether it's through their strategy or whether it's their support for the Devonport Airport. Chamber of Commerce certainly works hand in hand with local businesses, and that includes not only our CBD but tourism. It's about investment, attracting that to the city, as well as employment to the city. And as we all know, if you've got jobs in your city becomes a lot more sustainable. So the Chamber of Commerce is certainly an important partner that council should work with hand in hand to build what we've got now in the living city. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comment? Councillor Vine?
Thank you, Mayor. As the other speakers have said, this is an important sector within the city, and it's great to have such a good working relationship with them. With their own strategic plan that brought out 2024, 2026, it's ambitious and it sets some pretty high goals, including boosting their membership. But I think everyone around the table understands that together everyone achieves more, which is an acronym for team. And I think that that DCCI have a really strong foundation of team and understand that what benefits one business has the potential to benefit the whole sector. As Councillor Martin said, it's shoring up their support. It's a 3-year partnership. I think that gives them some assurance into the future that council have their back, part financial funding backing. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comment? Councillor Moore?
I'd also like to support the partnership agreement with the DCCI. I think it's an important organisation within Devonport that encourages business growth and advancement. I think we need to acknowledge that it's a little bit of a tightrope when you are an independent body, but also being supported by Devonport Council financially. But I believe they're a very worthwhile organisation and we should work hand in hand with them.
Thank you. Any comments? No, I certainly value the relationship that we have with the chamber. It's a hard-working chamber. They've improved over and over again going through the years, and where they are right now with their strategy and the way that they communicate and the way that they stand up for those things that they should be standing up for. I'm really, really proud of what they're doing. And for us to do this now for the 3 years is a great agreement, a great partnership, and I think they'll prove that it's value for money. I have no doubt. I've got huge faith in them. And I suppose going forward too, having this relationship with them just adds value to the Living City, to Devonport itself, and we're proving ourselves time and time again how we can work with our fellow colleagues in different sectors. And yes, they can still, speak up against us or have their say. We value that as well. But at the end of the day, if we can work together, we're only going to see value from that. So I really appreciate it. So I will ask Councillor Hollister to close, please.
Just in closing, I think it's very good that they have breakfast if you can get out of bed before 7 in the morning. They're usually inviting and educational, so I think it's a worthwhile exercise to attend. Thank you.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. So 5.9, Councillor Ennis. Okay, thank you. This is going to depart the room. So 5.9 is attendance by councillors at conferences. The recommendation is there for Councillor Ennis. If I could have a mover, please.
So moved.
Thank you. And a seconder?
So second.
So Councillor Hollister and Councillor Bulczynski. Thank you. Councillor Hollister.
I think it's very good for councillors to go to those conferences. Some people over the years have got a bit too willing and we've had to restrict them. But I think they're very educational. There's usually a breakout session if you happen to be an elected person at an engineering conference or a management conference. So I think it's very good for councillors to attend these conferences and get the benefits of them. If you don't go, you don't learn. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Bulczynski.
Yes, again, I think it's great. And I did ask Jared, where did he find this? Because this is really awesome for us as our city, looking forward with what we want to do with our open space and greening our areas. So very good. I'll be supporting.
Thank you. Any further comments? Councillor Murphy.
Thank you, Mayor. Unfortunately, I won't be supporting this one, purely based on a number of factors, having read the program for this particular conference. I also spoke with council staff with respect to this particular conference has been going for about 25 years, and as to whether council has ever sought to send any council employees or any other members of previous councils have ever wanted to attend, or what significant benefits would be obtained by having sort of staff or a councillor attend such a conference with respect to benefiting the ratepayers or the community here more broadly. It's quite a high level conference with respect to discussion points. There's quite a nice little wine tour involved, but I think at our level, from a councillor perspective, this is probably above where we currently sit. If it was someone from within council, from council employees wanting to attend, from that particular role within council, it'd be a different situation. But I think the benefit would be minimal. We'll get a report and that'll be about it. But I think the ongoing, and I just don't think it would be, I don't think it'd be worth supporting, to be quite frank.
Thank you. Any further comments? Councillor Viney.
Thank you, Mayor. I echo some of the sentiment of Councillor Murphy there. I think it's hard to gauge benefit, but I'm more of a glass half full sort of person. I noticed that one of the speakers at the symposium is senior lecturer in urban planning. Particular research focuses on urban environment policy, including governance. So it's hard, as we said, to gauge how much benefit Councillor Ennis will bring back, but he will bring back something. Like you can always learn something. And if at the very least it's, you know what, guys, this one isn't worth going to, we'll put a line through it. Then we won't send anyone again. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments? I'll ask Councillor Hollister to close.
I've voiced my support for this, and I believe that will not be just on trees. I think the breakout things will cover a lot of other subjects, and I think it's worthwhile to go there. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll ask all those in favour?
Aye.
Against? I'll have a show of hands, please. The 4 is Councillor Wilczynski, Councillor Martin, Councillor Hollister, Councillor Viney, Councillor Moore and Councillor Jarman. And against, Councillor Murphy. Who's passed. Thank you. So we'll ask Councillor Ennis to return. Thank you, Ms. Lunsford. And then we'll move on in a moment. If you can be heard. Sometimes listen. So moving on, 5.10, 5.10, I don't know what I'm doing there. Private Coast Waste Management Group 24-25 Annual Plan and Budget. This is a report for noting. If I can have a mover, please.
So moved.
Councillor Murphy and a seconder. Councillor Martin, thank you. Councillor Murphy.
As you've stated, Mayor, it's just a noting.
Thank you. Councillor Martin.
Nothing further, thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments, questions? Councillor Murphy to close.
Consider it closed now.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
And against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. We're moving on to item 6, information 6.1. Where am I? There. Workshops and voting sessions held since the last council meeting. 6.1. If I can have a mover, please.
So moved.
Councillor Murphy and a second. Councillor Viney is same. Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Murphy.
Merely procedural, Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Viney.
Yeah, as noted in the agenda. Thank you.
Any further comments or questions from the councillors? Councillor Murphy, therefore to close.
Consider it closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 6.2 is the Mayor's monthly report. Can I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Councillor Hollister and a seconder.
Second.
Councillor Ennis, thank you. Councillor Hollister.
Very busy. Got a lot of things. Nothing further to add.
Thank you. Councillor Ennis.
Did a great job at the opening of the Sound and Light show. It was
Pouring rain.
quite a wet night, and well done.
Thank you. Thank you for those that attended as well. A very trying night, but yes, thank you. Any further comments or questions from the councillors? Councillor Viney.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a question if I can. I've noticed that you attended the FOGO working group meeting. Is that going to be ongoing or is that finished now?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if Mr. Belchamps has any further thoughts on that because he attends with us as well. With Councillor Wilczynski.
Yeah, through you there. I believe it'll probably go through to Christmas, so they're sort of in that embedment stage now where we want to educate and sort of sticks with everybody using their photo booths.
Yeah. I haven't been to all of them. I get in and out at times. So yes, that's very important for us to just see where we're at.
In continuation.
Yeah. Thank you. Any further questions? Councillor Hollister, therefore to conclude.
Very closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 6.3 is the General Manager's report. If I could have a mover and a seconder, please.
So moved.
Councillor Murphy and second.
Second.
Councillor Wilczynski. Thank you. Councillor Murphy.
Yeah, Mayor, the General Manager has been very busy. Interestingly enough, 1.6 there, meeting with Mr. Dave Stewart. He's very keen to sort of pick up on our digital transformation with through our Deputy General Manager. Again, it just highlights the significant body of work and transformation that Devonport's seen becoming a smart city, and the fact that we sort of having other councils now look at that and think, yeah, okay, this is real leadership stuff, and again to do that. Also, with Mr. Craig Lincoln from State Growth, Secretary of State Growth, just with respect to some of those implications around the Key Link development. And is there anything that you could provide, any further information that has been an agenda item this evening, Mr. General Manager?
Through you, Mayor, probably nothing outside of what's in the press. We know it's a current situation with TT Line, and the Port works as a controversial topic at the moment.
Thank you. Thanks, Councillor Murphy. Any further questions, Councillor Ennis?
Thank you. It's interesting to note that the amount of state politicians that are sort of gathering around Devonport of late, which is probably something I hadn't noticed for a while. It's great to see so many taking an interest in our city and what's happening around.
Thank you. Further questions, comments? If not, I will ask Councillor. Oh, sorry, Councillor Murphy.
Yeah, through you, Mayor. I was really interested in the meeting with the PCYC. Are you able to tell us anything about that meeting?
Yeah, through you, Mayor. There was an opportunity to meet with Scott Wade, the CEO. He's got plans to guide and broaden their footprint across the state and looking at having a presence or a greater presence in each of the three regions, and certainly in the northwest, he sees that Devonport's that opportunity. And yeah, just early days talking about what that might look like and where that might be and the role they might play. I think that's still they need to secure their funding first before they'll be able to make any commitment. We did talk about opportunities with the new stadium and potentially some of the shared administration space that might be available there for sporting clubs, and that'd be a good fit with the PCYC.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more? I'll ask Councillor Hollister.
With PCYC, we used to have a PCYC probably 20 years ago, and we only ever got funding for half, so 0.5 of the manager, which meant that every time they got a full-time job, they left. So I think if they're going to do anything with PCYC, we definitely need the funding from the government and the police, as they do in Burnie, Launceston and Hobart. They fund quite a lot. So unless they're going to come to the party with the funding, I don't think it's worthwhile doing. Just from the previous experience, I'd say that it's no good having 0.5. You need a manager that's quite willing to stay. Otherwise, you get them trained, and then as soon as a full-time job comes up, they're gone. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving along, we'll ask Councillor Murphy to close the debate.
Thank you, Mayor. I can probably just offer a little bit of advice to Councillor Hollister. The business model's moved on from 20 years ago. So I'm reasonably confident that what will be proposed in the near future will be something that will be quite acceptable to the community, and be rest assured will be fully funded. Interesting, I have to, you have to indulge me now, I almost forgot, talking about IT, the Deputy General Manager was a keynote presentation speaker at the Local Government Professionals New South Wales Conference. Again, just highlighting how fortunate we are here and how much that we are very lucky to have someone with Jeffrey's, Mr. Griffith's skills in that space, and the fact that we are being looked at by other local governments from around the country. So again, highlighting the fact of how much Devonport's grown over that period of time. Having said that, Mayor, consider it closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 6.4 monthly operational report. Always good reading. The recommendation is there. If I could have a mover, please.
So moved.
Councillor Pine, thank you. And a seconder.
Second.
Councillor Moore, thank you. Councillor Pine.
Thank you, Mayor. My favourite part of the agenda every week, because I can just fill up on all the positivity that's happening around the city. I've got a few to tick off on tonight. if you'll bear with me. I noticed that we've got some new picnic tables at the Bluff precinct, which is great because some of those ones were definitely getting a bit old and tattered. I note that in 221, in the Natural Resource Management, we talk about National Tree Planting Day. Myself and Councillor Martin were both there about a month ago at the East Devonport foreshore on North Carolyn Street with the Devonport Community Land Care Group. We said we were going to go and we turned up and it was a lot of fun. The boys definitely enjoyed it. We said we were going to go on Sunday as well, but the weather was a little bit dicey. I know they did another planting over the back of the waste transfer station, so I missed out on that one. But I did do the glow run on Saturday night, and again, like Saturday wasn't the nicest weather, but gee, there was a lot of people down there in the Bluff precinct enjoying that race. Just a great community event. I know that the council supported Brian Lyons and his team to put that event on, so that was brilliant. And this was a new one. I couldn't find it in our operation report. I'm not sure where to find it, but I know it happened. So East Devonport Rec Centre, once a month on a Saturday afternoon, there's roller skating.
Yeah.
It's $5 to get in. It's another $5 for roller skating hire. I took my 6-year-old Vincent and never skated before, and there was flashbacks of Roller City on Nickel Street. Took me a couple of loops, but I found my groove. I was skating backwards, didn't do any jumps, but I can't remember the name of the group that organises that, but that was brilliant. That we'll be back again next month to have another go. And that was it. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Yes, they're on Facebook.
Yes, they are. They are on Facebook.
Councillor Moore.
Thanks, Councillor Viney. You usually cover most of the things in that report. I was really, it's the first time since I've been on council that I've seen it in the report about the relationship with our sister city. I think it's pronounced Minamata, is it? Yeah, that's really exciting, and I hope to see more things that we can do city to city. That's really exciting. And my apologies, I can't find it in the report right this second, but I just had a clarifying question around the parking. The parking seems to be down quite extraordinarily this month. Is that because of the collection time? Thank you, just clarifying. Thank you.
Beautiful, thank you. Any further comments, questions, Councillor Murphy?
Yes, Mayor. One stood out for me that was glaringly obvious, and that was the complaints received breakdown graph. Nice big solid circle. It was good. Easy to read that graph.
Cheers. Thank you. Further comments, Councillor Martin. Sorry, Councillor Holmes. Councillor Martin.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, the regeneration of North Carolyn Street was a great day, and there's a lot of community groups that were involved in that, as well as council officers, and they did an extraordinary job of regenerating that area. And it looks absolutely great. So congratulations to all involved. I noticed the 5.5 customer services. Amazing that we've got 10,369 interactions with callers over a 7-month period that our staff engaged in the community. And hats off to them. It wouldn't be always easy. And then to try and find solutions or pathways to get to solutions and to the right people. I think they're amazing staff that we have in the front counter and with this customer services. So very much mention them and the work they do. I also note that the parking revenue was a bit down, 171,000, but of course the collection of it, but also with the introduction of Easy Pay and the pay-as-you-leave multi-storey car park will reduce the fines as well, I would imagine. So a great report. Thank you very much. And just one minor thing, page 89, I actually if you put an eye in front of the infrastructure would be probably good. And my computer's not there. Infrastructure report. Be picky. Other than that, thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Hollister.
It's just a question. The foreshore of the Wags transfer station, is that between the new walking track and the creek? Figure of 8 Creek, I think.
Mr. Bell-Chambers.
Yeah, through you, Mayor. Yes, it's along Figure of 8 Creek and sort of wraps around. There's another drainage inlet that sort of heads back in behind Simplot there as well. So the remediation is between the path and the water's edge, but there's also some area between the path and I suppose the property behind that as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments, questions? No, Councillor Vilchinsky, sorry.
Yeah, just looking at the meeting and convention centre bookings, we're still going really strong, above last year's, and we're communities 45 and commercial 55% bookings. So that's solid in both realms. So that's really good.
Thank you. I certainly just want to do a couple of shout outs to Jazz, to the volunteers. Good on them, let alone the staff doing an amazing job and a remarkable job of everybody involved. But who says it's quiet in winter in Devonport? Gosh, there's so much going on. You say my calendar's busy, but isn't it a great thing? Everyone's got an opportunity to go do all these wonderful things. And yeah, the volunteers are just amazing. Every year they turn up, they get the yellow scarves on, and they're always there, always looking after everybody. They just do a great job. Yeah, our Sound and Light show, I've been down there 7 times now, sometimes with professionals other than just seeing the public and seeing their reactions. And it's just so heartening. Everyone's having a ball down there and they're telling people and they're passing it on. And my big shout out to people is don't just see it from afar, get in there, be immersed in it, because it's so important to listen to the wonderful stories told. It is a sound and light show. It's not just all about seeing it from afar. But again, a huge shout out to everyone that's been involved in that. It's been amazing. It's been a long journey and well worth it. And just great. And great to have NAIDOC. The Governor came from Hobart. Her Excellency was here with Professor Chalmers. They came all the way from Hobart just to attend that. I just love them for that. And then got into their car and drove back to Hobart. And to see Tiagara starting to get its feet and starting to reopen, I'm really, really pleased to see that result. And I know the previous Mayor, Rockcliffe, would be really happy to see that result because she did a lot of work in the background beforehand. And then music on the waterfront, who cares if it rains? People turn up. It was great. People were soaked and we didn't care. It was a great night. The bands were excellent. It was just everyone was feeling the love, and it was just one of those nights. I really wasn't sure how this would go. The staff weren't sure. It's a bad time of the year to try and put something on outdoors, but boy, howdy, we proved a point. So if you do it and you do it right, it happens. So well done to everyone involved. So therefore, I will ask Councillor Viney on that note to close.
Thank you, Mayor. The group that runs the roller skating, it's monthly at the East Devonport Rec Centre from 3:30 to 5:30, the Cradle Coast Junior Rollers.
Well done.
Another great community group that I didn't know existed until Saturday, and another user group of that facility. So consider it closed. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 6.5 is the audit panel minutes. The recommendation is there. If I can have a mover, please. Councillor Hollister, thank you. Councillor Murphy, thank you. Councillor Hollister.
Nothing further to add. It's all in there for anybody to read.
Thank you. Councillor Murphy.
It's just merely procedural.
Thank you. Any further comment or questions from the councillors? If not, Councillor Hollister to close, please.
Consider it closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 6.6 is community activities financial year 24-25. Recommendation is there. If I could have mover, please.
So moved.
Councillor Murphy and a seconder.
So second.
Councillor Vilchinsky, thank you. Councillor Murphy.
Again, Mayor, a lot's been happening in that space. It's there for everyone to see, so there's not much more to that.
Thank you. Councillor Vilchinsky.
It's exactly the same. There's a lot of work happening, so it's all in front of you there.
Councillor Hollister, you had a comment?
A couple of questions that are probably not really relevant here, but they are important. The sinkhole in Mindetta Park,
That was in the previous.
I know, but just, is it safe? The whole place going to sink down the hill, or is it?
Wasn't the previous title, but
Take that on notice.
we can talk about that if you like,
And the other one was on Jazz.
which was in the previous.
Yes. Got to
Sorry.
keep the memory working. And I thought the numbers that the paid events in the theatre were down. Some of them were very expensive, and I was wondering if council's actually funding those events. Would we be better off to have a less expensive costs for the community and get more people in there instead of having that?
We might be having a workshop on that if you like.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. All good. Thank you. Any further comments or questions? I will just say congratulations on the Living Well program and how well it's going. So the first time it was rolled out, I suppose we've got to get people to have an uptake in it and be invested in it and to be more interested in it. So to have it so that this program is going to roll out winter, spring and autumn. So obviously we're in winter at the moment, we've got a spring program coming, and then we've got I'm sure we'll have a summer program possibly. It's just developing really nicely, and I can see all these wonderful free events that we're putting out to the community, trying to get people moving, trying to get people healthy and living well. It's a big shout out to the staff and all the work that they've done there, and it's just starting to, I think, take off, and hopefully we can get more and more people interested in what's going on there. The more information we can get out to people, the better. So check out our Facebook pages if you can. If you can't read the paper, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Thank you. Councillor Murphy.
Thank you, Mayor, and you're right. It is pretty cool when you're sort of buzzing around town on a Saturday morning between 9:30 and you see 20 plus people doing Tai Chi down here in Haynes Park. It looks really, really cool, and it's good. It's just great, park run and all these other events. We're just starting to get a little bit more active, a little bit more healthy. So just to see those types of events happening, it's great. So having said that, Mayor, consider it closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Therefore, we will move to the closed session if I can have a mover of the recommendation.
Second.
Councillor Viney and Councillor Murphy, thank you. Councillor Viney?
Merely procedural, thanks, Madam.
Thank you. Councillor Murphy?
I concur with Councillor Viney now.
Thank you. Any comments from the councillors? If not, Councillor Viney to close.
Consider it closed, Madam.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Therefore, I will announce that we're closing at 6:47 p.m. Amazing. I got the timing. Thank you, those from the gallery. Nice to see you all. Thank you.